It could appear to get better in the fourth quarter, but offense was really a struggle for much of this game. Last game a little bit in the second half as well. Where are you seeing you guys run into hurdles or not be able to play the way you want on that end of the floor?
I agree. Yeah, I mean it's we've hit some droughts for different reasons, I suppose. Some's make or miss. Some is there's occasionally stagnancy that comes in. Sometimes it's decision making, but the last 3 games there have been positives, and so we got to work at building on those.
Bucks had 30 points in the paint in the first half. I think that got a little better throughout the game, but Pelicans had 70 in that game, for example. Do you feel slippage in that way? And if so, where defensively do you feel like you guys need to tighten up some things?
Yeah, we didn't defend well in the New Orleans game. We had a very good defensive game in Boston, I thought. 103 for a top 5 OER team is pretty good. And then tonight we had them at a decent number, and they threw a couple shots in late. I mean, but look, it's game to game, and we're trying to win games, and there are challenges, and so each game's an individual entity and a new challenge, and so I was disappointed in the first half tonight. We just didn't have the fire that we needed. And second half was, I guess I should say, the fourth quarter was good, but you can't have a lag for 3 quarters.
Well, to go back to just some of the challenges on offense, I think points in the paint have been something I think that you've had a hard time getting consistently. I think you had 24 in the second half after 16 in the first. I guess what's made it difficult to consistently get that, and does that, I guess, sort of spray out into other issues, including 3-point shooting?
Yeah, everybody is packing the paint. Nobody wants to give up points in the paint. That's a constant. And the more stops we can get to transition, is better for everybody. Getting the ball up the floor quickly is good. When our numbers throwing the ball ahead aren't great, offense becomes more difficult just because of our personnel situation. So it's not. I'm not going to make excuses about it. You asked a question, so I'm giving you some answers. Got to be resourceful and find ways. Got to be resourceful and find ways.
You guys ended up, I think, even on offensive rebounds, 7-7, but I think they won second chance 18-5. I mean, just how big of an issue is that there when you guys were
7-7?
I think it's 7-7 on offensive rebounds, but they were 18-5 on second chance, if I saw that right. How important was that piece to it? You guys were able to get some stops, but they were certainly able to convert whenever they did get offensive rebounds.
Yeah, very important. It's an odd stat, 7 offensive rebounds for 18 points, but that shows you the power of the 3, and it shows you, it's hard to give you a great answer without looking at every single one of them, but we got to cut down on the number of offensive rebounds they get. We got to take it from 7 down to 3 or 4, maybe.
Right. You guys obviously played small lineups for a little bit for this. I think Furphy was operating as the 5 and guarding Miles for part of that. He certainly had some effective stretches, I thought, in the second half. How did you think about just the way that worked out? Certainly that's by necessity with the center situation, but what did you like about what Johnny gave you in a situation where he's playing a much bigger guy?
Yeah, I like Furphy very much. He's an easy player to like. He plays extremely hard. He plays for the team. He runs hard. He moves. He passes it quickly. He crashes. Everything he does with purpose. And so he's had some really good stretches. He was great in the New Orleans game. Really good. Had some good stretches in the Boston game. And then tonight in the fourth quarter, once again. And so, he's earning more minutes.